Welcome to PredWings Podcast, where Smashville and Hockeytown collide. And now your hosts, Rhett and Ron White and D-Law Dan Lawless. Welcome to PredWings Podcast, episode 119. And do you realize this is our fifth season, and the Seattle Kraken are 5 years old now? I guess this is their fifth season. Doesn't seem like it seemed like. I guess has it been that long?
Yeah, I guess so.
5 years. So they must have started the same year we started.
Sounds
Kind of
right.
interesting. Anyway, our social media: PredWings Podcast, Facebook and Instagram. X, we're at PredWings Pod, and we're on Podbean, as you can listen and follow us. And we are live on Tuesday nights for now. And our email is predwingspodcast@gmail.com. And before we jump into, I guess, the Beer League Minute or anything,
I don't think I have anything going. So you take it away, D-Law.
Sports fans, tune in to Sports with D-Law every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. live on YouTube as D-Law breaks down all the latest sports news and stories. Follow and subscribe on YouTube at Sports with D-Law, and don't forget to find us on Facebook and X at Sports with D-Law. You don't want to miss another exciting episode. Last week's was actually an hour long because of the interview, which is pretty good. So if you missed it, you can always go back on YouTube, Sports with D-Law, and watch it. And maybe you can join us this Wednesday night at 8 p.m. live, and probably in a couple weeks, maybe I'll have a special show on sports betting, but also want to bring out. I believe we're gonna try to do a live. I don't think it's gonna be on Podbean. We're probably gonna do it on the Sports with D-Law YouTube. We're gonna kind of do a or maybe we can do it on the Podbean. I don't know. I was more thinking about doing video for it, but when the Red Wings and Predators play, we're gonna kind of do a commentary analysis during the game, kind of like how TNT does their
But I think you're going to get the real side of D-Law, that homer side of things.
I'm not a homer.
Wait and see, folks.
So we should probably do it on Podbean, but I'm thinking we could do it more on the YouTube, and then we can have video and stuff like that. Not gonna be able to, obviously, we're not really gonna actually show the video, the game, because that's copyright and deals with that. But I don't know. It'll, in other words, it'll be live. I think the game starts at 7 o'clock Eastern time, so obviously it's going to be during the game. So I just thought it'd be kind of a fun thing to do. Originally, I was going to kind of like do a play-by-play type thing, but I think for that, I think we'd be better off more like a commentary analysis and live as the game going on. I just thought that was kind of a fun thing that
We'll have fun with it.
maybe the listeners could do. Plus, maybe it'll get some traffic onto the YouTube page for Sports with D-Law. But that's enough of that. This is PredWings Podcast. I'm gonna roll right into the Beer League Minute because I don't really have anything going on,
Roll with
to
it.
discuss this week. Yeah, it's been a bad year, bad season. I don't remember what the score was. I think it was like a lot to little. In fact, I don't even think we scored a goal. and we had 7
Circus
players.
show.
It was a 10:20 game to start. I mean, it started at 10:20 p.m. on a Thursday night. We ended up with 7 skaters. No excuses. I mean, I'm the goalie. When I'm a player, I mean, I kind of love those kind of. I mean, it's tiring, but I kind of love those, short benches because obviously you get more ice time. Um, but actually, it was so bad. 7 players, and I mean, one of their guys came over and played with us. Of course, after it was 4-0 in the first period, and then another guy came later. I think in the second period, he joined from his game that just got over. So it was kind of cool how that happens in beer league, but still another loss. We got one more regular season game this week. A nice early 9 o'clock game, so we should have pretty much a full squad. So far we got like eight or nine, and our full team is 10. So we should have 10 for this game. Last chance to get a win. We do obviously everybody makes playoffs. Uh, so that'll be after Thanksgiving, and
And
then
only a few have a quick exit.
And the funny thing, the funny thing is, the team we're playing now could very well play in the playoff game. I guess you call it. That's because there's 12 teams and they go by three, the top four, and then the middle four, and then the bottom four. And they're in ninth place, so we would play the ninth place team. I mean, it could come down to three teams to get ninth spot, depending on what happens this week. So, but we could very well play the team that we're playing, which is kind of weird. How I mean, and that happened last year. We playing the same team in the last regular season, and then in the first playoff game. Um, but and then if we win that game, we get to play the 10th and 11th winner. So we still have a chance to get one of the championship games, as they call it, even though it's like I guess they call it. I guess they break it down in like 3 tiers. They got the top bracket, and then the middle, and then the lower. But I don't know. I mean, it doesn't really mean much. I mean, it's barely hockey. You don't even get a trophy. Well, you get a trophy for like 10 minutes, and then they keep it. So you get to skate a little bit, and then but yeah, I just want to forget about that game. But uh, so I don't know. We'll see what happens on Thursday, and
Now, what do you think is going to happen? Like, let's be like dead serious right now.
probably another loss.
Okay, so at least you know the inevitable.
I mean, I didn't have any high expectations because I mean, I know, and I know it's been frustrating in the last few seasons, and you know, and it's beer league, and it's like I keep, it's because I've been playing really good, and I was even playing good in the summer, and then I don't know what happened in the fall, but I, I playing, before I would be like going to the season, I'd be like, yeah, we can finish in the top four again, and one season we finished in I think third, um, and then we obviously lost in the first round, um, but it was like. It's like I almost put too much pressure on myself to do good, and then it just fell apart. And the last, even going back to the last winter season, I just like, you know what? No, don't just expect to lose. Don't. I mean, yeah, obviously you want to win, but it's like, you know what? Just go out there and have fun. No pressure. Play loose, and I thought I was doing that this season, but I don't know. I mean, I'm having fun, even though it's frustrating when you get scored on. I don't know if you know that feeling, but it's just like as a goalie, you just want to have fun, but you just hate that you hate getting scored on. It's like, and then a lot of those goals that are, like Thursday that I should have stopped. I mean, a couple actually like got deflected, and one actually went out the post and in. I mean, it didn't hit anything else. I mean, it's like it didn't get deflected or anything. It came in right out the post and in. I mean, it's something you see in an NHL game, and this is in novice hockey. So I don't know. Maybe he doesn't belong in that league. I don't know, but or he just got lucky and hit out the post. But just trying to have fun and have a couple and adult beverages before and after the game,
Yeah,
and
it's good exercise.
yeah, that too, especially playing goal. um, but yeah, so and then we're all registered for the winter season, so obviously there'll be a little break for that. So probably only a couple more weeks of beer league minute for a few weeks, and then obviously there won't be anything. So we won't have that segment until January when the new season starts. Um, so yeah, that that's my beer league minute for this week.
Sounds a little
um,
repetitive from week to week. Why don't we
oh,
just record it and just play it again next week?
yeah, but
Can we
except
do
for
that?
different,
Like, can you do that? Because we already know what's going to happen, D-Law. Let's be real.
except for a different score. I mean, actually,
You know,
I think that
just blurt that out and
I
dub
think we
over
got
it.
I think we got shut out one other time this year too. I mean, I don't know. Usually you don't get shut out in a beer league, but I guess when you play my team or
Dila needs to not play goal.
And fall out of chairs.
I don't fall out of chairs. Um, I just get attacked by my microphone, the cord.
That's the usual. There it is. As you're twisting around and it's stuck under your wheel.
I think that was something.
You need a cordless headset and Velcro shoes.
I think my dog had something to do with that. I don't remember, but
Good.
can't blame him anymore.
Oh, the
Um,
old fella.
So it was a short week for the Predators. So I mean, just two games. I mean, they're still on their little break, even though they don't have any games. They're off until Saturday,
CNAs are this week, right?
Wednesday night. Yeah, this is
Wednesday, yeah.
normally they're on their Canadian trip, but they were in the Global Series, and I'm sure they're back because it was Sunday, and I'm sure they didn't. Maybe they stayed. I don't know, but let me see if they. I'm sure they came back. Um, but it was, I mean, I wasn't able to watch the Friday game because it was an afternoon game and people had to work. Obviously, over there, they're 6 hours ahead, so it was like 7 o'clock for them. Sunday morning was 9. I did see the score on my phone, and of course they're losing. On Friday, there's like 1-0. I'm like, geez, I can't even score. And it's like, and then I get home and I see the score. And it's like, they won in overtime. Forsberg tied it up late, and then like I know last week or two I've been talking about how they've been giving up a lot of these late goals, and now it seems like they're starting to score some of the late goals themselves. Um, and then Stamkos scored. Actually, I think they said it was their first possession in overtime. Which, with the 3-on-3 now, it all comes down to possession, kind of like football. It's like you had the possession, and
I
it's like
agree with that, but
I
it's
don't.
exciting
I
though. But
kind of
it's
like it, but I
exciting
kind of don't. I mean, there
because
was.
it's like so fast paced and opens up the ice, and every long pass, like you're just like cringing, just waiting to see like what's next. I love it. I love it. I do. I enjoy it.
I was just watching the other day. It was one of the West Coast. Was it Utah or I don't know if it was Seattle? One of those West Coast teams. It was late at night, and they went in over. Maybe it was Anaheim. Went to overtime, and that overtime game, it was really really exciting. I mean, I don't remember even who won, but it was definitely an exciting overtime. Um, Obviously, I wasn't able to see the Predators overtime, but Stamkos did score. I think they said it was the first shot Uh, Let me see if it was their first shot on in overtime. Yep. They had one. Oh, actually, that was a goal. They actually had two shots on goal in overtime, and Pittsburgh actually had nothing. But um, so I don't know how that was the Nashville's first possession in overtime, and when Pittsburgh didn't even have a shot on goal in overtime. So it doesn't seem right. Well, it happened 44 seconds in, or is that 44 seconds in or 4 seconds left? The official time is 44 seconds. I don't know if they count that like 44 seconds into the period. Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, it must be because Forsberg scored at 18:50 third, and that was like late, so that would have been the 44
It's got to
second.
feel nice to say some of those names that you've been saying.
But oh yeah,
Forsberg, Stamkos, like these guys that we've been harping on for the past few weeks. Like, man, come on, like poke it with a stick and wake it
yeah,
up.
and Stamkos, he still only has 4 goals, but I mean, as of late, he's starting to kick it up a couple notches. Uh, but that Sunday, and I had to say, I don't know if it's me. I mean, and this has happened in the past years too. I watch the Predators and they lose, and when I don't watch the Predators, they win. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be superstitious. I don't know if that obviously doesn't have anything to do with it, but it seems like every time I watch the Predators, they lose. And if I turn it off or if I don't watch it, they'll win or come back or something. And they just looked like absolutely dog crap on Sunday. I mean, they just couldn't. They got down early. Just they just. I don't know. They did get a goal, but they waved it off immediately for goal interference, and because they didn't call it a goal, they can't challenge it. And I mean, I don't know why they didn't. All I could say it was a home call. I mean, why they didn't call it a goal to begin with. I mean, he didn't even touch. Looking at the replay, he didn't even touch the goalie. And if they did deem it contact, which I don't think there was any contact at all, there was a Penguins player that pushed him, so it probably would have negated that. But that's why I don't understand. I mean, the puck crossed the line, and the ref blows no goal. If the puck crosses the line, they need to just call it a goal right then, and then they can go and review it. Because why do they have a review call
Did they
if
pull the intent? Did they pull the intent card?
no, they said it was goal interference, and then there's something with the whistle too, but I don't know, it just like you have the review capabilities, but you can't review it if they don't call it. If they call it no goal, they can't review it. Well, they either need to change that part of it, or they need to just start calling everything a goal and then go back and read. But then that'll probably slow the game up. But why have a review capability if you don't use it because you don't call it? You call it. So I think the best thing would be to let to be able to challenge it, even if it's called a no goal. Because I mean, obviously, if it's called a goal, you probably not gonna challenge it unless it's the other team that would do it. So if you call it, you know, if they call it a no goal, then the team that scores it at least has an opportunity to challenge it. They might, obviously, if you do that, I think it's the same thing with offside, with it like an offside goal, and you challenge it. I don't think a challenge is a challenge. So I think if you challenge it, regardless of what kind of challenge it is, if you're wrong, you still get a penalty. So I mean, I don't know. I just don't
I
understand
think
that
part
part
of
of
it,
it.
D Law, is that they don't want every single thing to be challenged.
Well, that's kind of like like football. I mean, it seems like everything is challenging football now too. But it's just like, but in that aspect, I don't know. I mean, I guess back in the day before reviews, and I don't know if you can solve this my recap. I mean, because my recaps are done anyway.
Go for it.
But it just like back before reviews and even a lot of replays and stuff like that and technology, they didn't have that capability. So I don't know. I mean, I guess we're kind of spoiled because of that, but and I mean things happen and I don't know. I mean, it seemed to work back in the day, but I don't know. It's just frustrating, and I mean,
I think a
obviously that
lot of the D law is consistency. I'm like sitting here thinking about it because one referee might say, "Nope, that's not goalie interference," and another referee might say, "Yep, he touched him, blocked his path." They just perceive the play differently, so it just lowers the consistency. And I think that's why a lot of sports, I don't know when or how it's going to happen. I don't want to get into too many other sports, but but they're saying that a lot of these calls are going to be computer, essentially
um,
robots or AI,
yeah,
because you're not going to need referees. You'll be
we
able to
know
see
how.
everything from the game. They'll have like monitors, if you will. So if the guys start fighting or whatever, they have people to get involved. But I don't like any of it, to be honest with you.
I
But
don't think
that's for another time and place.
well, refereeing that that kind of
It's
officiating
difficult. Like
that needs to be human. That you don't. I mean,
I
you
agree
might
with you.
you might as well sit in front of a TV screen and play a video game because that's basically what it's going to turn into if they do that. Playing a video game is basically what it's going to be.
Yeah, I don't. I
But,
mean, I would
but
have. I mean, I don't know how I would feel. I don't know. I don't know if I would feel one way or another. Like I just. But getting back to it, I don't want to get off on a tangent. But I just think that the amount of inconsistencies is what hurts sports because if you look at some teams, they're favored in calls. Like I know that was one of the big things with the Penguins back in the late '90s, early 2000s, was everyone felt that Crosby got the calls
I think he
because,
still does.
I mean, he did. There was certainly some favoritism towards the league star and how inconsistent the league was. I mean, the dude chopped off somebody's finger, and I don't even think he got a penalty. Like that's what I mean by when I say inconsistencies is that just the perceptions of different people are exactly that. Just you see it one way, I see it another. You and I differ in that aspect. We did it just tonight, and I'll talk about it a little bit in the recap. But there was an offside call tonight in the Red Wings game, and we were texting about it. And you're like, "No, that wasn't. I don't think it was. It's inconclusive." And I looked at it and I was like, "Yeah, you know what? That's really stretching it." But I really think that it's offside. I think that his foot was 100% over before the puck was 100% over. But um, but again, if you were refereeing that game, you're letting that go. You're getting on the jumbotron and or the headset, and you're saying, "No, it's I don't agree with that because of this." And
Yeah,
not
and they didn't call that live. They obviously let it go, and they didn't call it out. They had to been challenged,
correct,
um, but
but that's
just
what I mean. Like you would have challenged that, and you would have said, like, that's a goal. Like that's what we're gonna call it. It's a goal. It is what it is. But if I was refereeing, I would have said no, it's no goal. So again, that's what I'm getting at with this whole concept is that the way that we each see the game and how these referees each referee the game, like it's different. They just have the perception of it is different. So you're going to get different calls, and I think that's what the problem is. D Law.
yeah, and getting back to that, I mean, it might have. I mean, at the time, I think it was 3-0. I think or two. I think or two. It was either two or three. No, I think it was 3-0 because there was like three quick goals, and then the Predators called that timeout. It was 3-0, I believe, because the Predators called timeout in the first. period, I believe it was, when it was 3-0. They didn't play. They played a little better after that timeout, but getting back to that point, even if it was a goal, I mean, it might have changed the momentum. I don't know. It would have been 3-1. Maybe it would have given them a little life. But the way
You know
they
what I
played,
always say,
the
D-Law?
way they played the rest of the game, I don't think they. I mean, obviously they lost 4-0, and this goalie that the Penguins played was pretty much a rookie, no-name goalie. That I mean, he played in the
Oh, are we
AHL,
on that kick again
but
where
it's
everyone
just
plays
like,
their backups against the Preds?
well, not only that, but it just seems like anytime a player like a goalie comes in, like a new goalie that's a rookie or nobody, I don't know, maybe they don't do the homework on him, but they just don't seem. I mean, he's his first game. They should be lighting him up. He's never played in the NHL before. They couldn't
You
even get a
think?
shot. I think they had like 2 shots in the first period or something like that. And it's just like, and it not only happens against Penguins, it happens. Seems like every time they play, and this is going back years. I don't know. It's just like I don't know if that's a thing with the Predators or other teams. I think I'm wanting now that I think about it. I think it's a lack. They don't know this guy. They don't have video on him, so they don't
I mean, you got to
they don't
think
know
they have
what.
something. These are the pros. Like the guy, this goalie you speak of, I don't
Yeah,
know which one it
I
was.
think actually he did. I think they did say he played in the KHL, and I believe he played in the AHL last year and lit it up with Wilkes-Barre.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't
Um,
just roll out of bed and they're like, "Holy
but
cow, this guy, we
but
want
as
him."
far as his first game in the NHL, it's like it just. I mean, obviously, I suppose just because it's your first game in the NHL doesn't mean you're gonna suck and give up 5-6 goals, but because obviously you work your whole heart life and you make it to NHL, you're not gonna get a call in the NHL, especially as a goalie, just because you're you know just because. And I mean, you're probably there because they think you actually have something, and I mean, he got his first shutout. I mean, and it's just frustrating because I mean, yeah, that Friday game did break the 5-game losing streak, but then they go right back again to lose, and they do have pretty much a week off now until Saturday when their next game at home. And I mean, they got a tough schedule coming up, which I'll get to a little bit later, but. Yeah, it's just frustrating all around. It's been a frustrating season, and it's just I don't know.
And it's gonna
I
be
just I
like we
just
had
don't.
D'Lo, we had talked about this, and I saw that you tagged me in something online. The rebuild has to happen. Like you have to just just sell. And you know what? You guys will make a late minute push to make me look like an idiot, but then you'll do the exact same thing next year, and then you do the same exact thing the year after, and then you'll just keep doing the same thing over and over again. Where, yep, you make this late year push, but it's just not good enough. The Wings have been stuck in that cycle, and I'm starting to finally see everything kind of come to fruition now. And the eyes are playing. I do see it coming together, but I
But
think we just
yeah,
need to find a way to speed the progression. But anyway,
but
right.
yeah. I mean, the future definitely looks bright for the Wings.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just I'm just gonna roll into the recaps. I start with Anaheim, right?
Anaheim, Buffalo, Rangers, and Seattle.
Okay. With Anaheim, the nice thing that Detroit did with this game is they at least kept a tempo. And they one of their weak spots, which I have talked about, is their special teams. It's just inconsistent. They have their highs, they have their lows. Unfortunately, the lows usually overshadow the highs. Um, but in this particular game, the one thing I want to point out, there's two key takeaways from this game, or three, I should say. Detroit kept the tempo the entire game. They didn't let off. They continued to push. And second highlight, DeBrincat has another 3-point night, 2 goals and an assist. He's red hot right now. Also got a goal by Axel Sandin Pelika, one of our young guys, rookie. So Detroit right now, as of well, I'll get into that in a second. I don't want to jump the gun here. But the third thing is Detroit was 50% on their power play. Now, obviously, they're not going to keep that every single game, but they need to, every couple of games, keep accruing those power play goals because, yeah, I mean, you got to cash in on those opportunities, and they don't. But Detroit wins 6-3. Good night of hockey. You can't
And
be upset.
and the Ducks are, they're a really good team this year. So
They're
that
respectable.
that's a huge. They're still sitting in first place, so in their division. So, um,
Yeah, and then we invite um, the Sabres to town, and the Red Wings start off freaking red hot. Kaner gets a goal. Alex Tuck, he ends up coming off and getting a goal. But the one thing is Detroit comes around, they rally in the second period, they get 3 goals. Again, DeBrincat gets 2 more, 8 on the season, one being a power play. Looks great. I mean, Detroit had their foot on the gas, and that's when everything just kind of imploded. I don't know what it was. I don't know if they got complacent, but they were getting out skated. They were getting out hit. They were just, they can't beat Buffalo this year. They ended up losing a 3-goal lead
uh,
and blowing
there,
it 5-4 in overtime. Like,
I
how does
gotta.
this happen?
But go backing up to the third period, there was a penalty in the third period that I don't think it was a penalty. I mean, he never. It was a. I think they call it tripping, and he never touched his skates with a stick. Never touched his skates with a stick. They showed the replay a couple times, and I mean, it was close. He fell, but I mean, if the stick hit his skates, yes, it was tripping, but his stick never hit the skates. And then the rest to knock it out to make it even worse, the ref took the wrong guy. The guy that supposedly got the tripping penalty, they took the wrong guy, and I don't remember who it was now. And the guy that was sitting in the box is a penalty killer.
Hmm.
And then they get a short and a goal out of it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
it's
the Wings we can't let up a shorthanded goal.
but
Like, that's you just can't do that in a game like this. You can't do that. Like, you don't, like, under no
that
circumstances.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, that's got
That
to
was
be a
the game. That
I
was
mean,
the game.
I
That
mean,
was the game
obviously,
tying goal that cost them the game.
and obviously, things happen, but anytime you give up a short goal, it just seems to me that seems like it's a mental breakdown. I mean, obviously things happen and it bounces, but it's like you got to be like you, that shouldn't happen. You already have one more player than they do.
And I don't
There's
know who
no
you blame. I
way.
mean, do you blame the coach for this?
I would.
I mean, do you go after
I
Is
mean,
it McClellan? Do you say,
it
"Hey,
depends
what
on if
are
they
you
put
doing?"
five. I mean, so many teams now use five forwards on the power play. So I mean,
And
I
it's
don't know.
Tanguay. Like, again, it's the special team flops. Like, that it's costing us games at this point. Sure, we gotta. I shouldn't complain. I guess we're giving one, getting one, but I feel like a well coached team in the special teams, whether it's a power play or a penalty kill, you don't let up those shorthanded goals. You just don't do that, especially at a time where it's like it's that cost them the game. That defensive or that breakdown of the special teams cost them this game.
Yeah, and then I don't know. You're gonna
And
talk
I
about
also think like you gotta place some blame on McClellan because these guys should have been out there. They should have kept their foot on the throat of the Sabres
well,
and went out
yeah,
and put up another 4 goals,
yeah, well,
and they
yeah,
they
but
didn't.
it seemed like the Buffalo because I watched a lot of this game and it seemed like Buffalo got the one, especially when Buffalo got the first goal. It just like they it was like they gained the momentum. They just it was like a it was like a steamroller. They just kept going at him, and then like a snowball going down the hill. It was getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and the Wings just couldn't stop them. But I mean, it never should have went to overtime. But I blame the
No, it
refs
shouldn't
for
have.
overtime. But I mean, once it got to overtime, the refs screwed that one up big time in overtime. I don't know if you
Why do you
want
think that?
to. Uh,
I'll let you go into it. Go ahead.
I don't want to steal your recap.
No, no, no. Go for it.
On the goal. I mean, I don't want to like. I don't know if you were gonna talking
No, I
about
wasn't. I wasn't. I want you to jump in. Take it for real.
that. It should have been an interference penalty on Buffalo,
You think so?
and then
I don't know how I felt about that.
neither one of them had the puck, and I think it was, I don't remember what the wing was, it DeBrinket or somebody, I can't remember who it was now. He was about ready to grab the puck, and I mean, if you don't have possession, I guess it would still be interference. But then again, you're checking too. But it's still, he came in there and checked them, and he didn't have, neither one of them had the puck. So I mean, I don't know. Now I think about it, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I just
I mean,
I
obviously,
honestly, dude,
if he had
don't know.
if he had the puck, if he had the puck and he checked him, that's legal. You're knocking him out the puck. But I guess they didn't have the puck. They're kind of going after the puck themselves. It was right in front, and the Buffalo guy, I don't remember who it was now. Uh, he come in or hit him, and then he got the puck and I don't know what was it Gibson that was playing? I think I
Yeah, I
can't.
think it was Gibson.
I don't know what he was doing. I mean, he should have been focused on the puck or the player or something. And I don't know because I mean it was a bang bang play, but I don't know. I mean, I guess technically, if neither player has a puck, it would be interference. If I mean, if one of them had the puck, I mean, if the Buffalo player had the puck, it'd be a reverse hit that everybody loves. If the Detroit player had the possession of the puck, it just it's a check, and that's the name of the game. But I don't think nobody the way that, but the way it looked, nobody had possession. It was just battle for a loose puck. So then again, I mean, if you look, I guess if you look at that interference wise, in the book, that would be interference because you don't have possession, or at least roughing. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. I mean,
then
I
again,
could.
it was a check. So I mean, what constitutes roughing? Because I mean, obviously in youth hockey, when or beer league, checking is not allowed. That would be considered rough. But in any checking league, that a check or is that a rough? So, and I don't know. I mean, now that I think about it, I mean, I guess the ref, he's kind of like in a no win situation because it's in that gray area where and he's looking at it live. So now that I actually sit back and think about it, you know, I mean, it's unfortunate for the Wings, but like we just said, it never should have went overtime.
No, it shouldn't have. Um, but there's something else is I was upset about that game, but they need to rebound. Like that's a game where it's a hard fought game at the end. You don't want to lose a game like that. It's a gut check, but they got to come back out and do well, and they did just that against New York in New York. Um, it,
That surprised me because
it,
I mean,
well, they had the same record going into it, and Detroit. One of the stats that really stood out to me was defensively. Detroit was on the Rangers like flies on what, and like Detroit was able to put up 42 shots on goal while only holding the Rangers to 19, and I think that's pretty darn good. Um, because I mean, you want to obviously have shots on goal because that's how you increase your chances of scoring a goal. Some of those chances are going to be good, some of them are not. But the offensive pressure that they came out with was that's what they need to do. That's how you win games. And I like that the young guys. I mean, DeBrinket with another power play goal, 9 on the season. Razor gets his 5th, and these guys are they're playing very well. The guys that you want to see playing very well are doing just that. And then you're still getting your secondary scoring from these rookies who have come out of nowhere. Like I just said, Palika. You've got Emmett Finney, who's having a heck of he's a little dry right now, but the potential's there. You see it. You see him getting to the dirty spots, and right now McClellan's trying to put together lines, and so they're always changing. So Finney's probably seeing a little less production right now because he's now bumped down. I believe he's on the 4th line as of tonight with Nate Danielson and um, um,
Finney or not
no,
no
Finney was
um
Mason Appleton.
Danielson. Yeah,
No, it was
no,
it was Appleton and it was Appleton, Finney, and what the heck's his name? Nate Danielson was tonight. But I'll get to that in a second. I'm gonna go through that recap anyway because we're here.
Yep.
I
Just I just want to mention, and the Rangers obviously they're 1 win at home against the Predators. We talked about last week,
Yep.
and this was, I mean, they had road games before the Detroit game, and then I thought, you know, coming off that home win it would kind of do it, but they're still, you know, they still can't. I don't know. They're struggling at home, and it's a total opposite on the road.
Yeah, I
But,
mean, and
uh,
looking at this game, like the Rangers, they're I think they're 10th in the conference right now, and Detroit's 3rd. But you know what the difference is between that
uh,
3rd and 10th is 2 wins.
they're fifth in the wild card. So
Look in
the
the
rain, the
conference.
rain,
I'm talking the conference right now.
the conference they are 11th.
Oh, 11th. Okay. When I
But
looked
yeah, so
earlier, they were,
yeah,
but still, but 3rd to 11th, the difference is 2 wins. That's the difference. So
and
it's
3 points.
competitive, right? So I mean, it's competitive, and this game got a little testy, and I don't know how I feel about it because it all started when the horn blows. Appleton kind of deflects the puck into the net. It was an empty net. Quick was not in the net, so it wasn't
I
like he went by him. It was completely empty. They obviously had the goalie pulled, and Quick comes off the bench and just loses his mind. He was
He
so
was on the
pissed off.
bench,
Yeah, he was pulled. Remember?
so he should got a third man in. So
Well, he got a 10-minute game misconduct.
he should get suspended for that too.
He
But
got a 10-minute game misconduct, 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct. Um, yeah, it was mayhem. Everyone, both benches cleared. It was more just jawing and pushing and shoving. It wasn't anything like you would have seen back in the 70s, 80s, early 90s.
yeah, and and that's what that they mentioned that earlier tonight on the show, and they showed on like I didn't know anything about it. And then there was another game tonight that they actually the Rangers are playing somebody tonight, and the TV it was at the other team's TV crew showed that a little bit. It's like okay, I didn't think it was that big of a deal, but
Yeah, but I'm going to move in tonight because a couple of big things happened tonight, and I want to point out, a couple things. Um, tonight the Kraken come home, and this, to your point, D-Law, the woes at home need to, they need to end. We need to figure out a way to get some of these victories at home. You want to win in front of your home crowd, yeah, you want to win on the road. Don't get me wrong. That's a great thing to have happen, but more consistency at home where you should be playing good is important.
the Wings are better at home though, 7-3-1.
Well, right
Release
now,
the Kraken.
well, tonight's game was pretty. It was a fun watch. It was a pretty close game. Um, they were
The
going back.
TV guys got that wrong. The intermission guy said, "Oh, it's gonna be a low scoring game."
Yeah, I mean it wasn't. Yeah, it was a pretty good. I'm gonna go get my curly fries tomorrow.
I think
Um,
that's only in Detroit though, so you better
I'm
go
gonna
to.
try it. I'm sure you'll get some moron millennial or something that's like, okay, yeah, I see it on the TV screen. It must be real. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it the next time that happens. Um, but Seattle, they're sixth in their conference, and again, they're playing good hockey. They're no slouch. They opened up the scoring, and it kind of worried me a little bit because the way Detroit's been playing, the way they didn't just finish in Buffalo. I'm now nervous when they give up an early goal. If you would
That
have
was a
asked me that a month ago, I would have said, I'm not worried about it. There's two more periods left. They always pick it up. Well,
that was a weird goal though.
yeah, I get it. It was a power play goal. Those woes continue. But the things that I want to point out is Detroit really, they're putting the puck. They're I want to say there was like 50 or 60 shot attempts, so they're trying to get the puck through. They ended up with 27 shots on goal, but they competed. They hung with the Kraken. They let the Kraken get close, but they bent, but they didn't break. We'll put it that way. Now, two things that I want to go over. Nate Danielson. He was a pick a couple of years ago. Steve Eiserman. Um, everyone was pretty high on this kid. Played in Grand Rapids. Came up tonight. Made his debut. Scored a goal. Right place at the right time goal. But guess what? Everybody gets. Yeah, it was a pinball machine. It literally bounced off of probably every stick body part
That,
imaginable getting to the net, and it happened to just bounce off of his skate
that
unknowingly. But
that
hey,
thing, that thing. I think it hit like 5 players. It's like, as a goalie, you're like, there's nothing you can do. I mean,
no,
it's
no, you
like,
can't. But you
I
know what?
mean, one
He,
deflection is hard enough for goalie. Then you got, it's like, when I hit the puck goal.
but he broke the ice. Like he's got that monkey off his back now, and it kind of showed because shortly thereafter, he scores this really nice goal, and it was offside. Emmett Finney was offside, on the near side here,
Mhm.
breaking into the
Supposedly,
zone. No, I think he was. I hate to say it. I think he was just a hair too early, but it's unfortunate because it had no bearing on the play. But the nice thing is Danielson went between the legs of the defender, got around him, faked the goalie out, and wrapped it in. Like it looked textbook. It looked like the kid's been doing it for years, and it's his first game. He should have had two goals tonight. It was called off, but I am very impressed with this
that
kid.
that goal, that second goal is like a goal that's the goal you want for your first goal, not
It's
the
a
other.
highlight. That was a
It's
highlight
like,
reel. But you know
I
what?
mean,
You know what? Go have 10 more of those because you know what else happened in this game? Emmett Finney scores a power play goal. Another name that I was talking about, Danielson got the assist on that. So Danielson had a 2-point night in his opening night. You can't be upset with that. I think this kid's going to find a nice seat here in Detroit if he can keep that production going. But I'm sure they'll move him down, let him grow a little bit more. But he looked ready. He looked ready against a decent Kraken team. But a milestone was reached by Captain Larkin. Captain Larkin got an empty net goal. Probably not the way he wanted to get it. I almost think I don't want to say he looked disappointed because I don't want to. I mean, he just got his 600th point, but he looked kind of disappointed. Like maybe he wanted to get that in a different fashion, maybe an assist, but to score on an empty net goal. Maybe I could be completely wrong, D'Lo. I could be completely wrong and just overthinking this whole thing, but it looked like he was a little disappointed. But he got his 600th goal. Hats off to you. Congratulations, Captain Larkin. Keep up the good work, and let's roll him through this week.
did DeBrincat steal another goal from Raymond?
No, but he tried to steal it from Larkin. No, he had the assist with Larkin on that goal.
No, they were talking about that. I'm like, okay. So I was like, and then he was like, I don't know. They're just because he went first in the line. And it's like, I'll go.
Yeah,
He's like, I owe you. That's all right. I'll set you up for one.
yeah,
I think he tried to do that tonight,
he did. He got an assist for Razor.
but
But yeah, so good win, 4-2. I'll take it. We got to win more than we lose, obviously, and the streaks of losing need to be a little bit smaller than they were last year. And so far, I think they've been doing that okay. Like they
Mm,
get down a little bit, they hit a rut, they lose 3 games, and then they pop back out of it. Then they
yeah.
win 4 games, and they go back into a 3-4 game losing streak. Then they come back and they win 5 games, and if they can keep a pace like that, I'll be happy. Hopefully, stringing together longer wins and fewer losses. But you can't go on these like 8-9 game runs like Detroit did at the end of the season last year. It's just not going to happen. So yeah, I'm
I,
I'm I'm okay with where we're at right now, D Law.
I just wish that the Predators would like kind of like learn how not to let things like
You got to rebuild
let the
first.
losses. It's like they just like they I don't know. They haven't been able to get any win streaks together, but their losses are like, and we're at the quarter century mark, and you know the
Yeah,
quarters
dude, you gotta. I'm
they're,
telling
they're,
you,
they're the quarter season mark actually.
I know
Um,
they gotta start making changes to the roster. They're not going to win with this team. And like I said, they could make me look like a fool and go all the way to just on the cusp of the playoffs.
well, it's like
We've been doing this year after year, D'Lo. That's
they
my whole
they
point.
they they're bringing in young players, but they still got these older players, and maybe they got too many older players
It's
on
just the
market.
contracts, and you can't move them without crippling yourself.
I mean, I don't
You can't move
Stam.
Stamkos; he's too expensive, and nobody's going to take him.
He's also got a no movement clause along with Saros because there's rumors that they're going to be trading Saros, but Saros has a no movement clause.
Yeah, but he can
Uh,
probably. I mean, he'll waive that if he gets the right
um,
opportunity somewhere.
I don't know, but looking
But
at
what
the
about Forsberg? What's his deal?
well, I don't think they're gonna move him anyway. I think he's. I mean, I don't know. I think they'd move other people. I mean,
I think
I
you
like
keep Forsberg and Yossi in the rebuild. I think you
well,
build around them because
that's well, that's another thing that's occurring right now. I mean, it shouldn't be any excuses because
you got to
they
have
got
depth.
other players, but Yossi's injured and hopefully he'll be coming back soon. But it just I don't know. I mean, it's like they got a lot of these younger players and. But they do have in Marchessault. I mean, I like Marchessault, and but he tends to be streaky, and it's like, do you move him or not? It's like, and then you got Brady. Well, Brady Shea, he's kind of like I think he's in that middle range. He's not older. He's a veteran, but he's not like young. But he's not old, but he's not in his prime. I mean, obviously, I think he was in his prime when he was Carolina. Um, but they also
I feel like
these,
the
these
Preds are.
older guys are there to help. They're helping out the younger players. But
I feel like it's almost a
I
way of like, if you think about the Red Wings in the '90s when there was no salary cap, they just went out and they spent on all the big name players. I mean, Mike Madonna was a Red Wing. I mean, you just had
Brendan Shanahan or
Brendan Shanahan,
not Brett Brett Hall.
Brett Hull, yep, Dominic Hasek, like
The,
just name Mike Vernon. Guys who had long careers with their team prior, but the pockets were deep, so we went and got him. Keith Primo. That's just what we
and
did.
even now with in a sense with Kane. I mean, even though there was a cap,
Yeah, but I'm not worried about Kaner.
I think he
But
actually.
what I'm thinking,
I don't think his salary is as much
but
as it would
but
have
what I'm
been if there
saying
was
is,
no cap.
back then you could do that with no cap, right? Like you're saying. Like now you can't do that, and I feel like that's kind of what the Preds are trying to do is just buy every name on the market because they once had you know, an illustrious career. So I mean, that's why you've got the likes of Stamkos. That's why you won that overpaid for him. Like I said, Detroit was willing to go in on him, but their deal was a shorter term, same money, shorter term, and obviously at that age, you want to
I
protect
mean,
yourself.
that was an 8-year contract, and I I mean,
I mean, that's a risk with the
eh,
hip. He's got a hip injury, and
I
I
mean,
mean, your hips. Right. I mean, think about it. Your
at his,
hips are getting hit all day long in hockey.
at his age, that probably should have only been a 5-year contract. I mean,
Sure,
he obviously wouldn't have been getting the money that he got
but
with
you
an 8-year
wanted him.
contract. But
You wanted him. Like you're going to end up paying some of these
well,
guys post their
at the time,
departure.
he was supposedly the prize of the draft, but I don't remember. I'd have to look and see who else was available that draft that free agency year.
Yeah, but you also got to think though. I
And
mean, it doesn't matter who was or who wasn't. You can get a guy and negotiate it, but if I mean, you just don't overpay. I mean, that's all there is to it. If nobody, if you're just slightly the highest bidder, then sure. But they went out and I mean, they surpassed Detroit, I think, by 2 years. But regardless, I mean, again, you went out, you got Shea, you've got um, um, Stamkos. I'm trying to think of who else you went out and got. I know there was like three. I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, man, there's like
March or so.
Marcia. So yeah. I'm gonna try to find the roster here because that's how I found it. I was looking at the roster. I was like, holy god, a lot of these guys came from other Michael Bunting,
Well,
uh,
well,
Eric
he's
Eric Howla. Where did he come from?
all right. So the 2024, obviously Brady Shea was involved in that. So it was 2024 when they signed Stamkos. Um, some of the other free agents in that year, Elias Lindholm. Maybe they should have went and got him instead because he's with Boston now. Toffoli, but he's on San Jose, so that could be another thing. Now, March is always part of that deal that year. You
See, like
know,
McCarron, I would keep
um,
McCarron as a pred. Like I think he came from, you know, I like he only played a couple years elsewhere. Like I said, I'm just going through and looking. So far, everybody except for Forsberg and Evangelista have had careers like Ryan O'Reilly, Steven Stamkos, um, like just a lot Brady Shea. But that group of guys all were like big name guys that you would think would help you build a championship based on what
that
their production was in the past.
well, that's what Trotz was thinking, and then last year happened, and then it's a
See, but
little better. It's a little better this year, but it's still almost
seeing
almost
one
carbon
thing
copies
that I'm
last.
learning with the Iser plan, and I've hated it. I've bitched about it. Sorry, you can bleep that out. Um,
Not like
but,
what I said last week.
right, but like I've complained because I'm impatient. I'm spoiled. I've not been to, but I've witnessed 4 Stanley Cups being won. Like we were a dynasty, and now it's just mediocre. Playing catch up because obviously when you have teams that good so frequently, your draft position isn't that great. So that caught up to us, and making the playoffs for 26 years hurt us. In a time like now, but the Yizer plan is coming into play. I get it. I understand it now. I should not have doubted it. Even if they don't make the playoffs this year, I see what he's doing. He's putting homegrown, drafted NHL caliber players. Like he's hitting on enough to build a team, and that's the key. And I think that's what a lot of Red Wings fans are missing is that he's drafted however many players over the last 5-7 years, and he's had Sider, he's had Raymond, he's had Emmett Finney, he's had I just want to go through their current roster that came through the draft. Jonathan
But
Berggren was one. Nate Danielson, Emmett Finney, Marco Casper. Um, I think we drafted Michael Rasmussen as well. Um, Elmer Soderblom. And then, so I just listed all those guys who are homegrown up through the draft, who are now product like they're not the Patrick Kanes, they're not the Sidney Crosbys or the Ovechkins, but these are the guys that are going to put up points collectively to help you win the championship. I mean, I think I could put a good if you put a good team around Larkin like Stamkos had in Tampa Bay. I would see Detroit and Tampa Bay is very similar, where they've got a few big name players, or not, just players that are known around the league, if that makes sense. Like if you go into another city and you say like, "Oh yeah, I hope Lucas Raymond has a good night tonight, score a couple of goals," they're not going to be like, "Who?" It's like, okay, yeah, Lucas Raymond. Okay, yeah, he's one of Detroit's better players. You know, Dylan Larkin. Obviously, he's the captain of the Red Wings. Like you go to another city, people know who Dylan Larkin is. And it was kind of like that, I feel like, with Tampa Bay, where you had guys where it's like, yeah, I've heard of him before, but he's really good. I just don't know him that well because he's not Sid Crosby and he's not, um, you know, Alexander Ovechkin. Like he's not those players, but he's good. He's an all star, not a superstar. And that's what Detroit's building through their farm system right now. Is again, Eiserman didn't hit everybody because if he did, we'd have a million. I should say a million, but we would have had 7 Stanley Cups right now. So he's brought in the pieces that he has felt would really help to grow the team. Your Alex DeBrinkets, it's working. Even Andrew Kopp and JT Compher. Like Compher brings a little bit of grit in front of the net. Andrew Kopp brings a lot of power play and special teams play that we need. Mason Appleton brings a little bit of grit, helps teach these guys. But like now I'm naming just a few. JVR, same thing. Everybody else is coming up through the draft. Like we're not buying our team, we're growing our team. Is essentially what I'm getting at. Where
And
Nashville's buyers, Detroit is farming.
and I think you said bringing players with that are more known, that that people know.
You're
I
always going
think
to need them.
I think that's what the Predators, when they went out and got, because you're looking back at the past, and the Predators really never had those big name players that nobody like. Who are these guys? And it's like, so I think now they kind of want to do that. So, and then they go out and just get these older guys instead of like trying to go out to these
I can assure you something
younger
really quick,
metal
D-Lock.
names.
I got to be honest. They're not picking players based on who
Well,
knows
yeah,
them.
Well, yeah, I know, but I'm just saying they seem like getting these like big name players like Marchessaults and
I think their
Stamkos and McDavid
expectations are misguided, is what
instead
I'll
of
say.
instead of going after like they that year they got Stamkos, they could have got Lindholm, who's playing for Boston now. It's like,
Yeah, I mean, but you gotta maybe they tried and we don't know. Like just because they're
yeah,
available doesn't mean they're going to sign with you. Um,
yeah, true, but I mean,
and,
I
but
don't
but
know.
but I'm gonna say like everything that I'm looking at with Detroit is it has come from within the organization. Same thing with Toronto. I mean, Florida has put a few pieces in.
Well, the
Who
Predators did try. I mean, they were trying that for a while, and then they
they
end
have
up
to draft better.
and then they end up getting rid of these players like Tolvanen, who they lost on waivers, and what they mentioned that earlier today, and Fiala, they traded him away, and he's playing really good in LA, and then um, some of these other players, it's like I don't. Of course, that could have been the other GM too. Trotz has only been there for 2 years now, I believe. This is second year. Um, but yeah, but in any case, um, I don't mean to cut you off. Just if you got anything to real quick to wrap up that
No,
section.
I was just yeah. I'm just all I'm getting at D Law is I think it's time to just try to explode the organization and restart, or else Trotz is going to be
Well, the
And
fans are
Trotz
already
going to find his way out of there, and the fans got to chill out.
going after it. Could you imagine that
Look
kind
at
of like
Detroit.
they did
Look at
with
Detroit.
the Titans? That they'd lose it. It's like
It's this. You're right. The city is struggling
because
with their sports right now.
they don't like. I guess no team, no fan base likes to have to rebuild. But
No, it's like when your team
look
isn't good.
look at Chicago, look at Anaheim, and San Jose. They're I don't think San Jose is there yet,
Yeah, but
but
Chicago's
they're
been building
close.
through the draft.
And that's what I've been saying. Chicago and Anaheim. They hit rock bottom, and they've had those pretty much a rebuilt years where they were nothing. And
Yeah.
in San Jose, I mean, because look at them, and I mean San Jose, they're not there yet, but they're really close. But looking at like I mentioned a little bit ago, we're at the quarter mark of the season. Detroit's, and if you look at that division, it's like if you would have thought about beginning of the season, it's like it's like it's like flip flop. It's like the top teams are the teams that you thought would be at the bottom, and then you got the teams at the bottom you think it would be like Florida sixth in the division, in Toronto seventh in the division, Buffalo's eighth. At the beginning of the season, you thought they would be at the top, and right now you got. I mean, I obviously it's only a quarter of the way. You still got 3 quarters to go in the season, but you got Detroit sitting at the top by a point over Boston, and there are only 2 points behind Carolina and New Jersey for the conference. And then I mean that Eastern Conference. I mean the last place Buffalo team is got 18 points, and they get they've had some injuries, and I mean so it's the Eastern Conference is wide open. No off night for any of those teams. A lot different than the West. Colorado's the cream of the crop right now. And then you know, then you look at the bottom teams. It's like they're not really like with Eastern Conference teams. The bottom teams, Buffalo, Toronto, Washington. I mean, and they're not even that. I mean, Toronto, Washington are at the bottom of their division, and they're only 2 points out of the wild card spot right now, and we're only a quarter of the way season. So it's not like the Western Conference. The bottom teams are like they're not even going to be in the playoff talks. You might have, maybe Edmonton and Vancouver. I mean, because they're only 2 points out of the wild card spot right now, but it just shows you the comparison between the Eastern and the Western. Years ago, even when Detroit was in the Western, probably the Western Conference was the conference, and now it's like the Eastern Conference is. I guess it's more competitive, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. We got to get into our picks, don't we?
Oh, yeah, I think the only one is Cousins. Nick Cousins, a former Predator, he got fined for embellishment, and he did that, and um, he's done that in Nashville too. He was actually on Minnesota, I think, before the Ottawa, and yeah, he's that player that he embellishes a lot. And I didn't say that when he was with the Predators, but yeah, when he definitely did some embellishing when he was with Nashville. I think he's definitely a repeat offender. Before we're going to pick, I just wanted I know you touched on the Griffins.
Yeah, they've been playing well. I don't know what their
they're
record is right now, but
they're 10-0 and one. They're the only team without a regulation loss. Well,
I
actually,
like it.
they got a shootout loss. They just
They're playing well. It's all the growth.
Milwaukee's they're playing good too. They're 8-2 but I mean, you just look at these, um, and I think they mentioned some of these names on the telecast earlier tonight. John Leonard, he's a and you were mentioning the homegrown draft picks by Detroit, right?
Yep.
Um, John Leonard, I believe, is one. He's leading with 14 points. Dominic Shine, he's seen some time in Detroit.
Yeah, he has. Captain.
He's got 10 points. Lombardi, he's actually got 13 points.
Yep. He's another
Uh,
homegrown boy.
Mazer, he's seen time in Detroit.
Yep. He got injured in
Uh,
his one game up. He went to go for check and broke his wrist, I believe, or elbow or something.
oh,
But he,
that's why he's down in Grand Rapids then. So, well, I mean, he might make it back up depending on what happens. It looks like there's not too much room in Detroit right now.
yeah, I
Uh,
mean, but again, they're homegrown. They're getting the experience at the pro level. It's still pro. So,
but yeah, I mean, you can't really say that much for. Oh, they. I guess the Admirals do have some. I mean, well, Ufko, he's a Predator draft pick. Carr, Larue, he's. But anyway, jumping over to the picks this week. Actually, we got the trivia question. I almost forgot.
oh yeah,
Um,
roll with it.
last week's trivia question. Uh, to refresh everybody, in the early days of hockey, uh, pucks were made from the frozen dung of which animal? Choices were horse, deer, sheep, or cow. And Ron picked horse last week.
Yeah, I just feel like it would have the right consistency, shape, all that stuff.
Well, the correct answer is cow.
Oh man, who's gonna form that thing? I ain't touching it.
I ain't touching any of that. All right, this week's
Can you
question.
imagine taking one of those off the face? A frozen
Jeez.
piece of cow crap?
I mean, rubber is bad enough.
Jeez.
Did they Oh yeah, they did freeze it, didn't they? It did say they froze it, didn't they? Yeah, frozen dung. Yeah. Oh, and they didn't wear, and goalies didn't wear masks on too either. Hey, how about? Did you eat that cow? Okay.
I couldn't. I could not imagine.
Alrighty. Of course, then again, maybe the pucks didn't get up that high back then 'cause they didn't wear masks, so they didn't have. They definitely didn't have sticks that high. I can't imagine how even players didn't wear helmets, but that was a different time. All right, so this week's question. This might be kind of easy though. I think
True.
in how many seconds did
Eh,
I can really screw this question up. Mil Basenko? No, no, okay.
What the hell are you trying to talk about?
I mixed up the first initial. Sorry.
Like Bo and Byram?
Okay, I never did that either. I never did that.
There's no picture taken.
In how many seconds did Bill Mosienko score the fastest hat trick in NHL history? 21 seconds, 28 seconds, 35 seconds, or 42 seconds? In
I'm
how
gonna go
many
28.
in how many seconds did Bill Mosienko score the fastest hat trick in NHL history? 21, 28, 35, or 42?
Rant and Ron's going 28.
Okay. All right. Join us next week, and I will post it on social media soon. So get your pick for that, and we'll find out next week if you're right. All right. So speaking of being right or wrong, weekly pick section. Let's start over on the Detroit side because there's a lot more of them. I was wrong on Anaheim. and you were correct. I was correct on Buffalo, and you were wrong.
Yeah, yeah. I had faith in my Red Wings,
We're
and they.
we're we were both wrong on the Rangers because I thought, let's see, yeah, I thought the Rangers were going to win another home game after that one, but I guess I shouldn't have gone by the Nashville because I'm not going to go there. And then we were both correct on Seattle. So
Well, we got a couple
let's
of games coming
see.
up here.
I'm inching closer. You still got me 11-10 on Detroit. So let's see what we got going on this week for Detroit. Let's see.
I'm gonna say a win against the Islanders.
I'll say a loss. The Islanders are playing really well, and they're really good at shorthanded
Patty
goals.
Wah. It's
They're
all
playing.
Patty Wah.
Uh, they're 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 they're. I don't know how many shorthanded goals they've gotten, but
Well, they
they're,
beat
they're,
up. The reason I'm going
pretty
with the
good.
win,
And they beat Dallas
the
tonight,
reason
three
I'm
two.
going with the win is because they stomped on the Red Wings last time. I think they lost 7-1 last game. We should make a column.
It is in
Uh,
Detroit.
we should put a column on the C column D. We should do the scores in there so we can track them if we want to. But
Oh, we
regardless,
did. Oh, that's right. We did that last year, and I forgot to put that in.
yeah, we should
Yeah.
just, and we can go back and fill it in on another time. But regardless, that game was embarrassing for the Red Wings, so they need to come home and they need to win that game. And then Columbus, a couple days later, I'm gonna say we lose that because that would give us 1, 2, 3 wins, a loss. What do you think for Columbus?
I'll say win.
And then New Jersey, I'm going with a win.
Wow, New Jersey's playing awful good too. I think that's a loss. That's
It might be, but that's
at
what
New Jersey as well.
I just think Detroit's going to have a gut check. And then I think this could go either way. I could put a win and feel like an idiot on the show, but I think I'm going to stick with a win. I think Detroit's going to beat Nashville.
Yeah, that's a no brainer. That's a win.
I don't think
And
it's no brainer. I just don't
that
think that Nashville has found their stride yet. And I mean they've
and
got a few games to do it, but I don't think they've hit their stride yet. I think they're a late bloomer every year. So
and you can watch our special show. I don't want to call it Altcast because that's what TNT does, but and we only have a telecast, so it's our special. And it's a Nashville Detroit game too. So figured that'd be a good game to do that with a little commentary analysis as live as the game's going on. Um, so we'll see that. So over on the Preds side, we got Colorado. Still on their little break. You know, that's Saturday night. Especially being the first game back after that long trip. That's their Colorado's too good. That's a loss. And then you got Florida on the 24th, which is a Monday.
Colorado, I think they're going to.
I
Why don't
oh
we? Are we going to go back?
no
I forget. You left me
oh
out of this, D
no
Law.
oh don't
I
you
see what
go,
you're
that's
doing.
right. Go ahead go. I picked my Colorado. I forgot to tell you
Jesus.
what was your
I,
Colorado
I'm going with a loss on that one.
and
I think
Florida.
Colorado's a struggling team, but I think they'll win.
Well, they're not struggling too hard because they're in first in the Western.
Oh, are they? Oh, okay. They were struggling. I mean, that's how much I pay attention to them. They were struggling when
um,
I was. I guess we are pretty far in at
they're
this point.
actually they should be first in the 31. Actually, they're first in the league, 31 points.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think they're going to lose that game.
Um, and then we got another home game against Florida. I think for some reason they're going to win that game because Florida, they don't look like the team. I mean, they do and they don't. That
Florida's
look,
going to be just fine, but I think they're going to win that game also. Nashville,
and
that
then
is.
and then and then obviously the Detroit game, which is Wednesday, which I mean, I'm sure we'll do the show next Tuesday. So obviously we won't be able to recap that, but we'll have the show on Wednesday
Yep.
during the game. But I'm still gonna say loss. I'm not gonna
Impending,
change it.
impending. You might have to start and then stop depending on my kid's situation. So you might have a few moments without me, but then I'll hop right back on once they're in bed
Yeah,
and finish it up.
and I can do the commentary.
Okay. And you might have to do the same thing, jerk.
Yeah. Um, but before we wrap it real quick, I don't know if we want to really get into it a little bit, but so there's a couple things I've heard about Detroit.
Let me guess the jerseys.
They're facing some little bit of backlash. I don't know. I mean, people are kind of complaining about the team store. Uh, about the quality of the jerseys and the high cost. Apparently, they're selling jerseys for $300, and the quality is like not the lettering is not sewn.
I
And
agree, and I think
I
fans have a reason to be pissed. I mean, it's the same thing with the football jerseys. There was, I mean, I don't think you've heard about it, but I got a Hutchinson jersey, authentic from the store. My wife got it for me, and it's the same thing. I was like, this is cheap. It's heat pressed. It's not stitched. It's not nice. It
yeah,
just looks cheap.
but
And I'm
does
grateful
it
for it, and I appreciate it, and I wear it.
but but does it? I mean. I mean, obviously, on pro real jerseys, probably sewn. I mean, obviously, they don't want heat press because it'll be you won't be able to see. Should be coming off during the game, especially football.
I
but
have an
um,
authentic. Sorry, go ahead.
but does it? I mean, is that as far as a fan point? I mean, for one reason, I would never pay $300. I don't care if it's a game. I mean, $300 maybe for a game worn jersey. But for a replica or an official jersey like this,
And
I would.
that's kind of the going
There's,
rate, D-Law.
there's.
I mean,
I mean, well, and
that's what you're gonna spend. I mean,
I
obviously,
mean,
a little bit differences between
and,
teams.
and
But you
that's the way
get a
it's
good
been
quality
going
jersey.
over the last 10, 15 years. But it's like
Yeah, but the
if you
quality
don't,
doesn't have to be shoddy.
if you don't want to, but if you don't want to spend $300, and I mean that's why you actually go to the team store, and if you don't like it, then you don't have to buy it. But it's
No,
like
but here's the thing: is you spend
it.
$300, you should get a high quality jersey. What they're handing out to people, yeah, maybe charge 150 for it.
But is there really a difference? I mean, this is a
Yes,
fan. This is a fan standpoint, not a player standpoint. Is there, for a fan standpoint, wearing your jersey, is there a really that much of a difference between a sewn jersey and a heat press? Does it? I mean, obviously,
yeah, it's
well,
quality.
when you launder it, you're not going to launder. You're going to be more careful. But it's just like does I'm
It's not going to
sure.
last as long. It's cheap, and it's going to not. It won't
Well,
last.
maybe, but I
And you're
mean,
paying
it's still.
$300 for something that's not going to
I
last. I mean, it's
guarantee. I guarantee it's going to last longer than the player is going to be on the team.
so what?
So
So what?
if the player's on the team, you're not going to wear it anymore. I mean, I got jerseys from both the Titans and the Predators. The player's not even on the team anymore
Do you watch any hockey games?
all
I'm
the
being
time.
so when they span through the crowd, you don't see anybody wearing players of the past jerseys.
Well, that's different. I
There
mean,
are
that's
people
like.
wearing Gordie
I
Howe
mean, oh
jerseys,
yeah. Well,
Steve
that's different.
Eiserman
I'm talking
jerseys,
about like.
Fedorov jerseys. So
I'm
why
talking.
would I not wear this jersey when the
Well, I'm
player's
talking.
gone?
Well, I'm talking about players like Steve Sullivan. It's like, who's that? Or,
Yeah, but you're
Jordan
not gonna.
Tutu.
Sure. Well, I mean, Tutu people know, like he was more of a household
Yeah.
name, but I mean, again, if you're spending $300, it should be quality. It shouldn't be embarrassing to the organization because I'm embarrassed for the organization that happened. Like you're spending that much money, you freaking figure out how to give a good quality product to to the fans.
Hmm.
What they're giving you is about $150. So I hope they correct it because
Yeah.
it's centennial year and the jerseys are going to be a one and done. So they better figure it out quick.
Well, that's another thing that they maybe they're that much more because they're in the 100th year too. I don't know. I mean, is
It's a
this what
patch.
year or
No, it's not worth that much more. It's a patch. You're spending another dollar to make the jersey.
probably kind of like the? Well, I mean, I don't want to compare the two, but like when the Predators had their 25th year, I'm sure they jacked up the price too and they put a patch. But
It's a racket. It's a racket
I mean,
because,
it's all marketing now. I mean, and
of course, they put a dollar patch on there, and that's that.
and then there was another incident I heard. I can't really see. I haven't really exactly what happened, but apparently in the upper bowl at Little Caesars Arena, something about a guy like losing balance or something.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Something about being up in the upper bowl because it's so high up.
I won't sit up
Like
there. I will pay more money because it's
I
just it's too steep. It's not even fun. It doesn't even look fun.
I,
It's way too
I
steep.
I was up there. In fact, I think that's where I sat. I think it was the first year they opened. When I went to a game, I think it was a Jets and Wings game, and the Jets won that game. Which actually, I think the only two games I saw in Detroit, one was at the Joe against Buffalo, and then one Little Caesars. I think it was the first year they played the Jets at Detroit. Lost both of those games, so I think I'm banned from ever going to a Detroit game again.
Yeah, I haven't seen him win in Detroit either.
but I seen something. It was on actually. No, I think about it. Think it was on Facebook. Something but because of the high. I didn't think it was that high. I don't know. I just thought that seeing these two stories and coming out in the same week, it's like the controversy between them. It's like, okay, why are they going after them now? I mean, I don't know. But maybe we kind of dig into that story a little bit and discuss it more because I didn't really get a chance to dig into that the last later story. So, um, so we got our did our picks, and I think that's about it for this week's show.
I think it's yeah. I agree. I think we
So let
covered a
me
lot.
before we close, let me just have a little break here. Sports fans, tune in to Sports with D-Law every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. live on YouTube as D-Law breaks down all the latest sports news and stories. Follow and subscribe on YouTube at Sports with D-Law, and don't forget to find us on Facebook and X at Sports with D-Law. You don't want to miss another exciting episode.
Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yeah, we heard you,
And
D-Law. Let her rip,
okay.
baby.
All right. So as far as PredWings podcast, our social media is PredWings podcast and Facebook and Instagram. X, we're at PredWings Pod. And if you do want to watch YouTube, it's at Sports with D Law. But we're also Podbean Tuesday nights live, and our email is PredWingsPodcast at gmail.com. Any last words?
Nada.
All right, and thanks for tuning in to the PredWings podcast.
Good night, Hockey Town.
See ya, Smashville.